We are going to get some high dollar drafts going. I know that there are a ton of tournaments on Underdog right now. I know some people want some lower buy-ins, but don't you worry. We'll get to those later on. First, I want to get some higher stakes leagues going. So this is going to be a $50 buy-in here, the sprint. What makes this different than Best Ball Mania is once you get to the playoff tournament, it's going to switch to cumulative scoring. So if you can advance in your 12-team league where you make it to weeks 15, 16, 17, then you're going to be in a large pool of other teams that advanced, and they are in that pool. If you get first place, you're walking away with $100,000. Second place, $50,000. Third place, $40,000. Fourth place, $30,000. All the way down the line. But I don't care about down the line because I'm getting first. Even though we got the trash pick, even though we got pick 9 in this one. But we are going to have something pretty important to talk about earlier. Noah and with us at 1. Ledex out here at pick. I'm sorry, Noah in here at 2. Ledex out at 1. And yes, we did end up getting 9, which y'all know usually I throw a fit about getting 9 because we got 9 like every single day for a freaking month. But I honestly haven't had pick 9 in a while, so maybe we are going to be okay. George says, "Sup, brother, was in the Eliminator drafting with you about an hour ago." Hell yes, my guy. And yes, you'll probably see me in a ton of Underdog drafts over the next few months. Y'all know early in the offseason, I was only drafting on the live stream. I was saving my energy. Well, I'm a freaking Underdog fiend right now. Like, I cannot stop drafting. But we have some really important things to talk about in this live stream, including the exclusive Flock Underdog tournament that we are going to get set up. And I want your opinions on it. Finn asking if we like any rookie tight ends. Typically, fading rookie tight ends is a good idea. I mean, it's been a successful strategy for years and years and years. Typically, I don't really care about rookie tight ends. I don't really pay attention to them. Last year, we got freaking crushed by Sam Laporta. Dalton Kincaid looked like he was maybe going to crush us. Kincaid really didn't have that great of a season. I mean, I'm really excited about him this year. But no, Laporta freaking crushed us last season. So now, obviously, it's a very popular thing to be looking at these rookie tight ends, such as Brock Bowers, such as Ben Sinnott. Sinnott's somewhat exciting based off the offense he's playing in, based off the opportunity at tight end there. The short answer is, do I love any of these rookie tight ends? No. Bowers is exciting, but you have to pay up for Bowers. You can get David Njoku around later. So I'd probably rather wait around and get David Njoku than pay up for Brock Bowers. Yes, we have Flock tourney news inbound. First, we need to go ahead. We need to take A.J. Brown. I was hoping that we were going to get Breece Hall. There have actually been a few drafts where I've gotten Breece Hall at pick 9 lately. Breece is falling, which is great for me. He's my RB2. I'm going to be taking him at 7. I'm going to be taking him at 8. I'm going to be taking him at 9. And I actually had a draft earlier today. I believe fell to us at 10. I don't think I've had him fall further than 10, though. But yes, I'll be taking Breece at every single one of those picks. So I expect I'm probably going to close in at like 20% Breece when it's all said and done. But yeah, we'll take A.J. Brown. We'll see what makes it back around to us. Right now, it's a very boring draft. These drafters don't seem exciting. They've gone pretty much in lockstep with ADP, with every pick outside of Amon-Ra St. Brown, Justin Jefferson. But honestly, St. Brown goes at 5 half the time, and Jefferson goes at 5 half the time. It's not that big of a deal. Okay. So let's move this over. I'm sorry, I'm thinking. We're going to mix it up. We are going to go Jonathan Taylor. I'm currently underweight Jonathan Taylor. I'm also currently underweight Saquon Barkley. I'm going to pull up how much Jonathan Taylor I've taken this year to show y'all. But as I do this, let me remind you, just in case you don't know what's going on here, We are drafting on Underdog Fantasy. That's where we draft every single day. I've drafted here every single day for freaking years. It's by far and away my favorite place to draft. It's best ball, so there's no time commitment at all during the season. It's how I won $150,000 on Underdog 2 years ago. And yeah, of course, if you wanted to hop in a draft with us, you can find that link in the description, comment section, live chat. If you use code FLOCK, you're actually going to get our 2024 rankings, my 2024 draft guide with code FLOCK as well. And you will get hooked up with a special pick'em. Pick'ems on Underdog, stuff like Geno Smith, more than less than, higher, lower, 22.5 passing touchdowns, 3,400 passing yards, just as an example. You can see like Christian McCaffrey has a bunch here as well. But yeah, to play on Underdog, though, you do need to be in one of these states. You can see the map there. It is available in pretty much every state, but you need to be in one of them. But yeah, use code FLOCK and get a bunch of stuff. Now, looking this up, I actually have more Jonathan Taylor than I was expecting. I do have 10% Jonathan Taylor. I have 6% Saquon Barkley. Looking at the other players in this range, I have 6% Nico Collins. I have 11% Chris Olave. 7% Drake London, 9% Jahmyr Gibbs, 8% Marvin, 9% Garrett Wilson, 8% Puka, and 13% Breece Hall. But I think Breece Hall is going to get closer to 20% when it's all said and done. But yes, we need to talk about the Flock tournament. We have a couple donation questions, though. Dear God. So let me answer these real quick. Sloan Dog Millionaire says, first draft in the books. Burrow, Hall, Kyron, Gibbs, Nico, Moore, Ridley, Pitts, Bauer. 6th pick. How do you like it? 12-team PPR. Love the vids. Appreciate you, my friend. Hall, Gibbs, Kyron out the gate. Immaculate. This is why I'm okay going running back early in your regular redraft leagues. This is a freaking 12-team league where they start Gibbs, Hall, Kyron, and still get Nico Collins and DJ Moore, who go in rounds 2 and 3 of Underdog drafts. Phenomenal team. I would love to buy it off you if it was possible. Love it, my friend. Bummy says, hey, man, big fan. Got the second pick of my 10-team PBR redraft. Would it be crazy to pick Breece or Bijan? I think pick 2, I'm still going to stick with my guns and go CeeDee Lamb. Going back to what we saw with that other team, based off the fact in your regular redraft leagues, you can get crazy values at wide receiver, such as Nico Collins. I understand where you're coming from, wanting to just go ahead and take maybe Breece at pick 2. I think Lamb is just set up so nicely with how good this Cowboys offense is and with how Lamb's the only guy there, though. Now, Patty Guy says, congrats on the Ironman, brother. Been a silent watcher for a while now. Thank you, my guy. And have 3P to my redraft league. Let's go. Flock Tua, my friend. Flock Tua. But okay, let's make our 2 picks here, and then we'll talk about the Flock tournament. Because I need your opinion. I need to know what y'all want. So let's move this over. DJ Moore off the board. So Stephon Diggs has an ADP of 27.5, but you have to understand that this is the sprint, which has significantly fewer drafts going off than what you're going to see in Best Ball Mania. So that Stephon Diggs ADP of 27 really is not up to date. Stephon Diggs in Best Ball Mania has an ADP closer to 32. DK Metcalf has an ADP closer to 26. Here you see Metcalf go at 32. So one thing that you could do is you could, in your Best Ball Mania drafts, say, I'm going to take a lot of Stephon Diggs late round 3. And in your sprint drafts, you go, I'm going to take a lot of DK Metcalf late round 3. So definitely tracking how the ADP is different based off the tournament contest you're in, I think is valuable to do. Now, once we go Jonathan Taylor round 2, we do put ourselves in the position where we are not really able to get away from taking another wide receiver at the 3-4 turn. This is typically why I want to go wide receiver at the gate, so we can set ourselves up to have that flexibility in rounds 3, 4, 5, 6. But we know for a fact we prefer having 3 receivers out the first 4 rounds, but we know we need at least 2 of them. So we're going to go ahead. We will take Cooper Kupp here. Clearly, Jalen Hurts is going to be in play for us, considering this an A.J. Brown team. So we'll see if A.J. Brown makes it back around, which he does. I'm sorry, Jalen Hurts makes it back around. Obviously, we already took A.J. Brown. So we'll go ahead. We will take Jalen Hurts, pick 40. I know a lot of people think that it's even more important to have an elite level quarterback in the sprint based off the cumulative scoring aspect, weeks 15 through 17. But let's go through and let's talk about the flock tournament. So I got official word on Underdog of what we can do and what we cannot do. Y'all know I was hoping that we could go through and I was hoping that we could set up a tight end premium aspect. Sadly, not possible. Sadly, we are not able to do that. We do have flexibility with these things though. We can do a regular or a super flex style contest. For me, I don't really care about super flex. I would just rather have regular. But please, for the flock tournament, this is more for y'all than it is for me. It's for both of us. But I want to make sure y'all are happy with this. I want to make sure that we have what y'all want. So please spam the chat. Would you rather have super flex or regular? Ship of Fool is asking if there's no Underdog in Maine. Here is where there is Underdog, my friend. If Maine is the state at the very, very tippity top right of the map, then no, I'm sorry. Okay, so regular. It looks like everybody wants regular. I'm in agreement with y'all. Perfect. We can go ahead and we can agree on that. The second thing is there are different structure types. So essentially, we have the regular contest where it's weeks 1 through 14 for the regular season. Then you go in weeks 15, 16, 17 for the player pools. We have the eliminator, which you get eliminated every single week until there's that one last round standing. So the bottom teams in your 12-team league get knocked off over and over again. We have the sprint, which is what we are in right now, which is can you advance to the playoff tournament? If you advance, then it's cumulative scoring weeks 15 through 17. And then we have rookie sophomore type of style, which I don't care for. So regular eliminator sprint marathon. What would y'all want? Please spam the chat. For what I'm thinking regular. But let me know. And as I wait for y'all, my name's Blue. This is 12-team keeper league. I'm keeping Reed in the last round. We have the 112, but could trade the 110. He also has the 102 and give him Reed in the 7th. So would we trade the 112 for the 102 and we'd give up Reed in the 7th? If so, yes. If we're trading to go from 12 to 2, for sure. 12 to 10, probably not. Okay. Let's move this around. So this is a team where we have Jalen Hurts, Jonathan Taylor, A.J. Brown, Cooper Kupp. But going back and seeing what people want. Regular, marathon sprint. So it looks like regular. Most people want. Here's what I am interested to see if there's, because I don't want it to just be a regular Underdog tournament. I want it to have a unique wrinkle. I want it to have something unique about it. So here's my idea right now, and I would love to hear what y'all think about this. We know we want another wide receiver here at the turn when we've taken Jonathan Taylor and Jalen Hurts through the first 2 rounds. Please let me know what you think of this. I would have to confirm with Underdog to see if it's possible. Instead of doing a tournament style contest where it's like a, say, $10 buy-in, the vast majority of people don't win anything, and instead you have the teams at the very top winning a ton, lottery style. What do y'all think of it being cumulative scoring? But instead of having the tournament payouts, we do a double up. Where say it's a $10 buy-in and it's only you in your 12-team league and everybody that's in the top 6 places in your 12-team league, you win $20. So the bottom 6 places lose $10. The top 6 places win $20. Spam the chat. Yes or no. Do you like that idea? Do you like the idea of a double up? Because that's something that's currently not on Underdog. I think it's a little bit unique. And I could see people really liking it. Okay. So I like that. No. Do a tournament. Bad idea. Love the idea. Top 4 maybe. Yes. Yes. Top 3. Frank says seems like a lot for Underdog. I don't know what that means. Not top 6. No. No, no. Yes, yes, no. Yes, 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 no. Okay. Looks like most people don't want that. Well, y'all need to come up with an idea then. Here's what I'm wanting from this. Here are the variables that we are allowed to play around with. We are allowed to do the different structure types in terms of the traditional Underdog tournament, an eliminator, sprint, marathon. We can do any advancement structure that we want. We can do any type of payout structure that we want. And we've already decided we're doing regular in comparison to Superflex. So to let y'all know right now, we are not going to be able to change scoring. We can't make it tight in premium. We can't add a flex spot. We can't remove a flex spot. What we have flexibility with is the structure type, aka is it an eliminator? Is it a sprint? Is it a marathon? Is it a regular tournament? The payout structure and the type of advancement. Okay. So write it out and let me know what y'all are wanting. Here for the meme says, good to see a 10-team super flex start 3. Would you trade Watson a first for one of Ayuk, Higgins, Smith? No, I would not. I would way rather hold on to the first round pick going into the season, my friend, and then you'd have a lot more flexibility. I understand the thought process, but if we're going to make that move right now, I think we need a tier ahead of wide receiver. If you can get Garrett Wilson, Puka, A.J. Brown, go for it, but not for those guys. Okay. Bean Salad says cheap sprint, 10 entry max. I don't see why we want to do it. I want to be streaming this every single night. So I don't want to do it like a 10 entry max. Pawn 6 says, I personally think the eliminator is kind of ideal for a large community draft. Guys, poll, what am I supposed to, I need a complicated idea here. Not just sprint, not just anything. Looks like most people want an eliminator. Okay, how about this? We'll set up a poll for y'all between eliminator and the other thing. Let me find a way to end this other one. End poll. See if I can do this successfully. Bam. It's like a professional streamer. Okay. Which type of tourney? You're going to have to let me know in the chat. Regular, sprint, eliminator, marathon. Okay. Got that out in the chat. Let's swing this around. We went Rome 64. Y'all know I prefer Addison over Rome. We just made an entire video about it, but Addison here goes before Rome. So sadly, we're not able to do that. But ooh, George Kittle falls to 79. I am so jealous of that team. How did they manage to get George Kittle there? We're going to go ahead. We'll take Ramondre as our RB2. I've been looking at Ramondre Stevenson, this running back that gets the contract that makes me a lot more excited to draft him. Still should be a horrendous offense, but it is what it is. Should be a pretty bad offense, but he can catch the ball. obviously Gibson can as well. He just got paid. It appears he got paid to be a 3-down RB with the amount of money he got. But I don't know. Let me check back in on Chris's question. I'm sorry about that, my friend. Chris says, 10-team BBR keeper league. Which two would you keep? Puka. Ooh, I'm going to go Puka and Kyron here. I mean, it kind of depends on, you're saying quarterbacks are valued in your league based off the scoring settings. It's difficult for me to do much with that information alone. If it's like where I kind of want to just go Puka Kyron. I'm definitely going to go with Puka in the 15th versus Amon-Ra St. Brown in the 3rd. The vast majority of times I'm going through and I'm saying, okay, it makes more sense to take the best player regardless of keeper cost. But Puka in the 15th that's nice. That's nice. Okay. So let's go ahead and please do not spam the chat, copied and pasted questions, or you will get muted. But let's see what people are saying. We have, and please, if you have not voted already, vote on the poll. We have 86 votes with the poll. I have no idea how many people are watching this, but please vote with the poll. I need your opinion. Okay. Yeah, I just pulled this up. Over 400 of you are watching. Okay. I want to stream this tournament often. I want to come up with something that we both like. So please respond to the poll. Okay. Looks like if we were coming up with two ideas, it's going to be regular or eliminator. Okay. Looks like most people want the regular. So we're going to end that poll. See, this is the ideas that I'm looking for. I don't necessarily know if I agree with this exact sentiment, but this is what we need to figure out now. Grant says he wants a regular tournament. One team out of the 12 teams advance in weeks 1 through 14. Then in week 15, it's you versus your opponent. Week 16, it's you versus your opponent. And then a big final week 17. The more I think about this, I actually really like this idea. Let me do the math on this. Say we wanted a 100-person final. This tournament can have 4,800 people. Yeah, that's just tough. Now I see why Underdog has it where it's tough to advance weeks 15, 16. Penix says, could we do 1v1s each week? This is a good question. Can everybody spam the chat? Would you be interested in 1v1s each week, eliminator style? Obviously, this is going back to eliminator, but we're spitballing here. Shane likes Grant. It looks like a lot of people like Grant's idea. Grant, we're gonna save your idea. I'm gonna screenshot this. Let me go ahead and get this in the bank. Whoever comes up with the idea we use, I will make sure you get hooked up with free entries into the tournament. I don't know how many, but I guarantee I can get Underdog to hook you up with some money. So if we use your idea, we will get you some Underdog credit to get in the tournament. I'm going to promise that right now without even consulting Underdog. Here, I think we go ahead, take Njoku. Taking Njoku's awkward, always has a first tight end. I really like taking David Njoku on a team where I go tight end around 5. Just because it cements us with a 2 tight end only build, and I think it does give us leverage over the rest of the field. Here, David Njoku 105 is awkward in that. Like, I don't know if we only can. We only need to take 2 tight ends once we go David Njoku, but we'll see. We'll see. Okay. So it looks like 1v1's a split. We're going to go back to the poll. All right, let's get the poll going again. Would you like 1v1's eliminator? So but as I send this poll out, let me make sure we're all on the same page and understanding this. This is going to be, say, it would be like a $5 buy-in. Let's see how many people it could hold. Week 17, you get 1 winner, 2. It has to be an easier way to do this math. 2. Okay, we could get like 100,000 people in this tournament, and it would be freaking nuts. That would be insane. We would either go Singletary or Caleb. The awkward thing about Caleb is we don't have any of the Bears. We could get Caleb at a unique ADP that not many people are going to be able to match. We're going to do it. We're going to target Komet later on, and if we can get Komet, I think we can be fine with only drafting 2 tight ends. So we're going to take Caleb to only draft 2 quarterbacks. 100% could be a mistake. Maybe the right answer was Devin Singletary. Okay. So looks like people are a little more in on 1v1 eliminators than they're not. Please respond to the poll. I want to figure out, do you like it? Obviously, be honest. There's no reason to lie to me. Unless you want just another... Yes, we are going to have a flock tournament on the Underdog app. This will be a tournament that everybody can get in. I'm going to be doing it a ton on the live stream. And that's what we're trying to come up with right now, my friend. But... Oh, and I'm so dumb. We have Rome. You know what's going to be so embarrassing? Is if when we have to react to this, not have to, but when this wins the sprint 6 months from now, and I can't even act like, oh, I'm so smart. Yeah, we took Caleb at 112 because we took Rome in the 6th. We had that because clearly it's going to be on screen that I forgot that I took Rome, and we thought we took Caleb to make a mistake. Phenomenal pick with Rome here. Phenomenal pick with Caleb. Clearly big brain plays right now. Bean Salad says, technically, it will be possible for you to go 1v1 against another one of your entries. Yes, it should be. It should be possible. Matthew says, same idea as Grant, just with weeks 1 through 14 through an eliminator format to allow more initial entrants. Steve says, how about 4-week mini tournaments? I think we could swing it. I think it would maybe be possible to do on... Actually, it's just so different than what they've done. So it's like halfway between weekly winners and... Best Ball Mania. Okay, we're getting some more ideas here. Hartnell says... Or we can do weeks 1 through 4, top 4 out of 12 move on. Weeks 5 through 8 have top 4 out of 12 move on. Weeks 9 through 12, 4 out of 12. Then weeks 3 through 16, 4 out of 12, or on until we have week 17 finals between everybody rank. That's very similar to just the regular Eliminator tournament. No? Unless I'm mistaken. Sir Peanut says, isn't 1v1 103,000 entrants? Is that too many? Not too many people play it. Frank says, Eliminator 1 through 14, 3 out of 12. Redemption for team 3 versus 2 with top seed bye. I don't think we're going to be able to do buys or anything. Pond says, if you do a 1v1 Eliminator, it would be super interesting from a strategy standpoint. It would encourage you to draft players from opposite side of draft board to create unique teams. I don't know. Let me make my picks. Let me digest everything that y'all have just given me. We're done at quarterback. We are running back, wide receiver, tight ends. Polk may not be the worst pick in the world in that we do have Zamir. I'm sorry, we do have Ramadre, so we can make a consolidated bet here on this New England offense. We're going to... That Polk pick's probably a mistake. We just know that we need a wide receiver. And we have Ramadre, so it is what it is. We're a little all over the place, if you can't tell. Let's move this over. After Polk goes, do you have Leggett? Yeah, that Polk pick was a mistake. It is what it is. We're allowed a mistake or two. Does look like all the receivers are off. So it looks like we made the right call in taking a receiver where we needed one. We probably just took the wrong guy. I think maybe the right guy would have been Gabe Davis. Now here we are running back, wide receiver, tight ends. Chubb goes. Schultz for sure in play. Ford's in play as well. I think we're going to go ahead and take Jerome Ford. You have a considerable amount of rookie production on this team, so maybe we need to get some of the production in the first half of the season. While Schultz, like I said, was definitely in play, I think we want to put ourselves in a spot where we take, since we took Caleb, to possibly go with Komet a little later on. Okay. But let's see. Dasbury Cruz says, still think you can structure it 1v1 to advance each round. Would be sweet. Harnell says, I like the idea of an in-season tournament eliminator as the season progresses. Then everyone remaining moves on to cumulative weeks 15 through 17 scoring. Nick says, 1v1 eliminator separated into 2 sessions between weeks 1 through 8 and 9 through 16 with 2 separate prize pools. This would be very interesting if it is possible. And if I'm gonna send this to Underdog, and they're gonna go, "What the hell? Why would you think that this is possible?" But if we think about this, like from a strategy perspective, you could have teams that are drafting only for weeks 1 through 18, and having teams drafting only for the second half of the season, 9 through 16. Here is Nick's idea, okay? I'm going to ask y'all if y'all like it in the poll. Like I said, it may not be possible. But I will, if y'all like it, I'll ask Underdog. Let me copy and paste this. I'm going to send it over and over again. Actually, y'all can just see it on the screen. I'm going to type Nick's idea. If y'all don't know, Nick won the puppy a couple years back for $75K. So I don't know why, but we got a flex for Nick here. He's not able to do it himself. Yes. No. See results. All right. Let's see what the poll says. Let's move this over. We are not going to go quarterback as we discussed. Penix says very few entries. Mason, only 8 weeks allow few people to play. Oh yeah, that's a tiny entry. That may be the issue. We're at like 256. We're at like 250, 500 entries if we try to break it down like this. Clearly, your boy's not good at math. By your boy, I mean myself, not Nick. But Nick, your idea, it just got a hole poked right through it. I've already taken a considerable amount of Adam Thielen. I don't want to embarrass myself by taking any more. I think we're going to go ahead and we're going to take Tyler Algier. I like Algier a lot. I'm taking more Tyler Algier at ADP than I am Bijan Robinson. I'll say that. Okay. So I'm probably vetoing Nick's idea here now that we have the hole poke through it, that we could barely have anybody play in the tournament. But Bernard says, how about weekly winners get an entry into a flock tourney next year and a piece of Underdog merch? I like the idea. The issue is the logistics behind it. I like the idea of weekly winners, though, and the winner every week gets a physical prize. But the issue is, then in the Underdog lobby, not a single person is going to play it unless unless they're a fan of the YouTube channel. Which I think we probably want to make something for Underdog that more people than just us are going to like. Do we just take... I'm going to take Wandale. We're going to be stuck taking 3 tight ends regardless with this team. So I don't know if taking Noah Fant here does much for us. Let's go ahead. Let's take Wandale. I think maybe I like Roman Wilson more than him. The issue is we already have 3 rookies on this team. I typically want to cap us at 4 rookies. Arbitrary number probably doesn't make sense. Probably shouldn't follow us into it. Okay. Let's move this down. T. Jameson says regular BBM, 100,000 entries. My thing is just a regular BBM. Why don't you just draft Best Ball Mania? A-Rod says nobody wants Underdog merch. I beg to differ, my friend. Literally all I wear is my Underdog merch. Especially, and every time I wear my Underdog Nike hoodie, everybody goes nuts for it. It is phenomenal merch. But Luke says, what if there were no groups and the top scoring teams just moved on? I would need to talk to Underdog about this. My thought process potentially is if there were no groups, and of course, I'm just trying to poke holes in every idea here. I think maybe the issue with this would be if there are no groups and it's just the best teams move on. Then you'd be in a spot where all the teams look the same at some point, or they all look very similar. Where having the groups gives you some randomness in it, where the teams will look very different. OC says winner gets Mason's blazer. Ooh, not a bad idea. Not a bad idea. Joshua says rating on team 3 so far. Let's check out team 3 real quick. Tyreek, Barkley, Kyren out the gate. Personally, I have a very hard time making a team work with Barkley and Kyren. If you can do it, go for it. Pickens, McLaurin. When you take Barkley, Kyren, you have to go wide receiver at the 4-5 turn. So I agree with that. Evan Ingram at 70. I probably go receiver here again just because we took Barkley, Kyren. Connor 94, great value. Love stacked up with Watson. Lawrence stacked up with Ingram. Wiggs for the double stack. Musgrave for the onslaught. Yeah, I like the team, my friend. I like the team. Very interesting to see you make the Kyren Taylor team work. T. Jameson says winner gets Mason's YouTube channel. If I knew I was going to win Best Ball Mania this year and we were retiring from the game, my friend, I would agree. But sadly, I may need this. Sadly, I may need the YouTube channel. Okay. So we're definitely going to take 2 tight ends. I don't know at what point we take 2 tight ends, but we're going to take 2. And we're going to take 1 more receiver. I think we may reach on a tight end here because we know we're going to take 2 of them, so might as well get 1 of them out of the way. We're going to go ahead. We'll take Ben Sinnott. And we'll take a dusty old tight end on the way back around. And yes, if you want another draft, make sure you go down there and hit that like button. If we hit 300 likes by the time we make our round 18 pick, we will fire up another draft, ladies and gentlemen. And I just pulled up my phone to drop a like on it. Looks like we're 51 likes away. Tony says, Sinnott has been plummeting down draft board. Saw him go at 216 the other day. I agree. I think all these rookies are falling, my friend. Let me pull up how many drafts I have Sinnott in. I have Ben Sinnott in 6% of drafts. So I'm slightly underweight Ben Sinnott, but I think getting him at the 15, 16 turns much better than in round 13. I think where his peaked at. Steve says, thinking 1v1 for 4 weeks, winners advance. Travis C says, at what place in Best Ball Mania would you retire? All jokes aside, probably would never. Yeah, the wide receivers here are gross. Just give me another tight end. We're just going to go ahead and we'll take Jonnu. And then we'll take wide receiver at the end. Mark asking what our Justin Fields exposure is. The instances where I take Justin Fields are which we whiffed on quarterback, we need a QB3, and we don't have a stack in round 18. And then Justin Fields, my go-to guy, understanding he probably doesn't start, but if he does, he will be starting in fantasy based off rushing upside. You know, I've been a big Justin Fields hater for a long time perspective, but obviously the guy has rushing upside. So I have 7% Justin Fields, which considering the fact he doesn't get drafted in every draft should be viewed as a positive thing for Fields. I mean, we're overweight Fields. Carby says, how about a tight end premium draft? Oh, we can't change the scoring. Kellen, I'm closing in on 100 likes, Don. Penix says, I still like the 1v1s all the way, or maybe a week 15, 16, 17 playoff. If you need a smaller tourney, it's unique. I'm going to ask, I like the one-on-one idea. The issue is from a season-long, if we break it into 2 seasons, it's too small. A season-long perspective, it may be too big to try something new with. I don't think I can ask Underdog to do like $1 million prize pool tournament for the first flock tournament. I think that would be unrealistic. So maybe what we can do is like a 1v1 tournament until the final 3 weeks. And then it's cumulative scoring and then it's sprint. Detroit Fitness says, I saw your video about Ladd McConkey. ESPN has Palmer as the one. Interesting. What's your take on Montgomery's possibility of getting more touchdowns than Gibbs? So obviously at the beginning of the season last year, David Montgomery was the exclusive goal line back for Detroit. And Montgomery crushed. At the end of the season, Gibbs expanded his role at the goal line. And Montgomery fell back to being like a high-end RB3, low-end RB2 at the beginning of the year. At the end of the year. I'm going to naturally expect that the rookie running back going into year 2 continues to expand his role. I think that's a safe expectation for the 22-year-old player. So personally, I think Dave Montgomery is top 5 running back upside in this offense if Gibbs were to go down. But if Gibbs plays, I think they split the goal line role. I think Gibbs gets everything as a receiver. And in a full PPR format, I'm not excited about Montgomery in that situation. We're going to go ahead. We will take Odell. I get tricked into taking Odell quite often. Don't ask me why. I don't know why. Here we have Miami, so maybe we make a concentrated bet on this offense. But it is what it is. And yes, hit that like button if you want another draft. I have no idea how many likes we're at. Let me pull this up. Okay. Frank says Odell 2 spike weeks. If I get 3 spike weeks from Odell, I'll be extremely happy with the fact that we've taken a decent amount of them. And like I said, I don't feel great about it. I think maybe Kendrick Bourne is the last receiver we go with here. Zay Jones off the board. And we are going to get another sprint going after this. And of course, we'll get some lower stakes buy-ins soon. But Joshua says, do you think Taysom will be switched to tight end at any point before week 1? No, Underdog can't do it. Underdog can't switch Taysom to tight end. Then all of a sudden it just screws up all the teams that I've already drafted. So maybe like an ESPN, Yahoo, or I have no idea what the hell they're doing. But on Underdog, no. People would be pissed if Taysom got switched to tight ends and everybody's already drafted teams in these tournaments. And Underdog pays too much attention to what people actually want, unlike some other platforms. So Underdog would never make a mistake like that. So let's go ahead. Let's get into another sprint. Let's get in here. Now, one thing that I need to think about, and I love the 1v1 idea for the tournament, but Penix says, Mason, 1v1s with a 3-week playoff is 1,600 entries. Kind of perfect, no? How many... Let me see. What does that final week look like? Okay. 1,600. So we're at pick 2 here. Pick 2 is phenomenal. I mean, we're going to get CMC. We're going to get CeeDee Lamb. We'll get one of these guys. Earlier in the offseason, you did exclusively see people go with Christian McCaffrey at 1. Now I'm definitely seeing it as a more common thing for CeeDee Lamb to go at 1, but I'll take whoever falls. I'm fine with them. Nate in this draft at 4. Rummy Rams, happy to see you at 11, my friend. Drew out here, or I don't know who's out here at 7. Someone's out here at 7. Okay, CMC goes, so we are just going to lock in CeeDee Lamb. Super comfortable start. Obviously, it's hard to find wide receiver value on Underdog later on, or at least personally, I think so. So, Asher's Coffee out here with us at 3. Hell yeah, my guy. Donald says, this is my second one tonight with you at the 1-on-1. Let's go, my dude. Okay. So I'm trying to think. So the 1v1 idea, while it's different, it's so far away from a regular fantasy football league that it would be difficult to do live streams in like August with and like have to explain to like casual redraft people coming in what the hell we're doing. So the 1v1 idea sounds a lot of fun for like the people who draft on Underdog every day, like us sickos. So, I'm trying to think. I need to sit down and think about it. I'm gonna try to come up with some of the ideas. Let me see what was the idea that people liked earlier. I think the best idea that we've had so far is Grant's, to be honest. This is going to be Grant's idea. I'm going to give y'all a poll on this. This is what he sent. Regular tourney. Advance 1, 12, 1, 2, 1, 2. Big final. Head to head in weeks 15 and 16. So this is what Grant sent, and this is what got us down the 1v1 rabbit hole, which this is probably a much better of a happy medium. So just to explain this to everybody, this would be in weeks 1 through 14, you were going up against the other 11 people that you drafted your team with. One team advances to the fantasy football playoff tournament. And in round 15, you go up against one other person, and the winner advances to round 16. And round 16, you go up against one other person, and the winner advances to round 17, where there's a big final, probably like 100 people. So please let me know if you like this idea. Noah says the only thing is 1 out of 12. I mean, it's gonna be difficult, but it will be much easier to advance in rounds 15 and 16 than a typical Underdog tournament. So like say we wanted a 200-person final. Then that could give us about 9,600 people. And if we were to do that, I bet you we could do a couple flock tournaments, especially if it's easy for Underdog to set up in that way. People saying they like the ideas. Okay. We're at 80% on the poll. So please, everybody, make sure you vote on the poll. This is the idea here. Do you like it? Ayuk and Debo make it to the very end of the second round here. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to take a boring pick, Mike Evans, stay in line with ADP. After this, we'll probably deviate there at 26, which y'all see in just 1 second. But we know we need another wide receiver somewhere either in the second or the third. And I think at running back, I'd probably rather have Kyron than Achane at 26 anyway. And I don't know if the team at 1 is super excited to go running back after going CMC. Okay. So it looks like that is our best idea so far. TJ says 2 out of 12, not 1 out of 12. The issue is if it's 2 out of 12, it's just such a small tournament. Or you want a massive, massive final in the last week, which I would rather it be only 1 out of 12 than have like a 400-person final or a 500-person final. Detroit Visitor says, opinion on Zeke this season, will he eat? No idea, my guy. I mean, I wish I had a super strong take with Ezekiel Elliott. I mean, this is a running back that has an insane amount of career touches. Like, let me go ahead and pull this up. I think this will be interesting to look at. Active career touch leaders running back. Ezekiel Elliott currently has 2,400 active career touches. 2,421. The 10th running back in the NFL right now in active career touches is Nick Chubb. And can y'all guess how many career touches Nick Chubb currently has? He's at 10, Ezekiel Elliott's at 1, and Zeke has over 2,400 touches in his NFL career. $1,200, $1,300, $1,350, $1,280. Yeah, Chubb's at 1,300. Hartnell, very, very specific number. I wonder how you figured that one out. So Zeke almost has like double the amount of touches as the 10th leader in the NFL currently. Let me look at all time. Actually, all time's bringing in a bunch of names that I've never even seen before. We're going to go since 2000. Since 2000, Zeke is sitting at 14. He'll pass Chris Johnson, Clinton Portis, Ricky Williams, Marshawn Lynch this year, and he'll move up to 10. Frank Gore is at 4,200. Frank Gore is a freaking beast. Okay. So Jalen Hurts off 39. I don't want to speak too much until we are on the clock, but it is interesting to see the team at 12 go with Kelsey and Mahomes. Should be a very unique start, both to have London, Olave on the same roster, then followed up with Kelsey Mahomes. I like the idea of maybe reaching to get that unique build at 12 with either one of those pairs. As the thing is, say you take Olave there at the top of round 2, so you have a unique combo with London. It's not, if you reached on Olave and you're reaching on Kelsey Mahomes, it's not going to be super unique to have Olave Kelsey or Olave Mahomes. So what you may end up going up against is you may go up against a team that also has Olave Mahomes or the Olave Kelsey Mahomes stack in this tournament, but instead of them having Drake London as their round 1 pick, they have Amon-Ra St. Brown. They have Justin Jefferson. They have Jamar Chase, which it may be very difficult to compete against them. So I like the idea of reaching to have that unique build there at the turn. I don't know if I like the idea of reaching on both the 1-2 turn and the 2-3 turn, if that makes sense. Cody says, when's the best time to draft in Best Ball Mania? So 2 years ago, the Best Ball Mania winning draft was in the middle of the summer, about right now. Last year, I think the Best Ball Mania draft was closer to the start of the season. I would imagine because that's when the majority of people had success last year, was closer to the start of the season, because you needed to draft Puka and or Kyron, and Puka and Kyron weren't getting drafted until like a month before the year. So I think it's going to be very dependent on the year that you are drafting to know the best time to draft. Personally, when I'm going to be drafting a crap ton of teams, I'm just going to be drafting year round. Now, there's one wide receiver left in this tier. We'll go ahead and we'll take him. We'll take George Pickens at 47, and then we'll see who makes it back around to us at 50. B Slime says, how long does it take to get your money if you hit big? I actually have a funny story with this. So y'all know, just in case you haven't heard before, I'll make sure I say it more often for y'all. Don't you worry. I won $150,000 on Underdog 2 years ago. When you go to withdraw money on Underdog, they give you the option to either put in your PayPal stuff or put in your bank account stuff and withdraw that way. Your boy tried to withdraw $150,000 on Underdog through PayPal. I got hit with a quick email that day. Hey, buddy, we're not sending you $150,000 through PayPal. We need your info for a wire. I gave my wire, and then maybe it took a day, maybe it took 2 days. I don't exactly remember. So it was almost essentially right away. But yes, I was, for whatever reason, I was dumb enough to think that they were going to send it through PayPal. I'm sure if you win $1,000 on Underdog, they'll be willing to send it through PayPal. I just don't think they're sending 6 figures through it. Nick says, I got my 75K wire too. Do you remember how long it took, my guy? Because I'm saying a day or two, but I could be wrong here. I have no idea how long. I don't know how long a bank wire takes. I'm sure people watching this asking the question know how long a bank wire takes, but Frank says, yeah, I got my 1.5 million wire too. I'm sure, my guy. Okay. Nick says took him 4 days. Okay. So maybe 4 days, less than a week. Okay. Let's smooth this over. So really balanced start. We're going to go Kincaid here in round 5. I mean, I don't know if we talked about this already. Y'all know I'm taking a ton of Kincaid. I'm taking a ton of Andrews, taking a ton of Kelsey, taking a ton of Laporta. It's the cheapest we've seen the elite level tight ends pretty much ever. I'm going to take advantage. I think Kincaid outscores the wide receivers being drafted in round 5. So if I'm able to take the tight end being drafted in round 5, give me as much as Kincaid as possible. I don't like Curtis Samuel. I don't like Shakir. Somebody has to score in this offense. And I think Kincaid can be that guy. Okay. Gridden says he won $5K last year through PayPal. Okay, so it looks like they'll send $5,000 through PayPal. If we hit 500 likes, we'll fire up another draft, my friend. Detroit Fitness Nerd says, PlayStation or Xbox? I have, to be completely honest with you, not played video games in God knows how long. When I did play video games, I had a 360, so an Xbox. I'm sure now, though, video games have left me so far behind where I've never touched a PS5. I'm sure a PS5 is freaking phenomenal. I'm sure whatever the new Xbox is, it's great. I'm just not the person to be able to tell you what's good or what's bad there. We're going to go ahead. We're going to take Ladd. I mean, a big thing with Ladd here in round 7, and you'll see me take him specifically under the circumstance where we need 2 different things. One, we are going to take Ladd in the circumstance where we need another receiver. That's the case here with this team. We only have 3 receivers through the first 6 rounds. 2, we are going to take Lad in the case where we need a setup for Justin Herbert later on. That's also the case here where we currently have 0 quarterbacks in the first 6 rounds. Now we have a couple different potential stacks. We can go Dak and Lamb. We can go Baker Evans. We can go Russ Pickens. And now we can go Herbert Lad. So just giving ourselves some optionality later on in this draft. Okay. Dwander says 360 was the era. 360, Madden like 11. The best. Mark says Halo 3 or Call of Duty. Now, I know y'all are probably not going to like me for this one, but I was never a Halo guy. Never played Halo. I played a lot of Call of Duty back in my day, but never Halo. And I was very boring with video games. I played the basic video games. I played Call of Duty. I played Madden. I played 2K. I played MLB. I didn't play MLB The Show. I just played the regular MLB. I don't remember what it was called. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I played. Obviously, I played the Wii way back when. But like in terms of whenever I had the Xbox, it was the sports games. It was Call of Duty. And when I was in college, whenever Fortnite was big. So whenever I would go home, I would play Fortnite with my little brothers. But I was never like any good at Fortnite. What was funny though, like the first winter, like Christmas time period when it got big, and I went back to my house for the holidays, and my brothers were playing Fortnite. I had seen videos of it, looked incredibly fun. I'd been saying that they needed to make a Hunger Games video game since I read the Hunger Games books. I thought it would be the best thing in the world. So I was legitimately excited to play Fortnite whenever I went home from college. Sat down with my brothers, and they taught me how to play. And like my first game, they were saying, run here, run, like showing me what to do. And my first Fortnite game I had ever played, I just ran bush to bush. Like this is back when like Fortnite was really fun, where like everybody was like into it. It was like scary. And then I didn't know how to build or anything. I don't even know if I had a gun until the very end. And then I got like a shotgun. I was hiding in a bush. And then 2 people were like build battling each other because there's only 3 people left. And then I like ran out as they were build battling each other. One killed the other. And then like as he was like drinking a slurp, I shot him and won my first Fortnite game ever. Your boy got a battle royale. And then everybody in the house was going nuts. It was good memory. But after that, maybe I won a couple other times if I had like a friend to carry me. But I was not good at it. But TJ says 1,000 likes for a college football stream. I wish NCAA came out in closer to like the off season, or maybe even at the end of the year. Because I would like to play college football. I think it would be a ton of fun. I'd be literally willing to buy a PS5 and set up a stream setup just for that. But the thing is, over the next 2 months, I'm going to be going freaking nuts with these underdog drafts. I need to get in as many drafts as I possibly can. So I just don't know if I'll have the time to do the college football streams. We're going to go ahead. We're going to take Dak Prescott. Stupid simple here. When you take CeeDee Lamb and Dak falls to you at the 8-9 turn, you take Dak Prescott if you don't have a quarterback yet. Super simple. Margaret says, also love Guitar Hero, very underrated. Yes, I played Guitar Hero as well. Thank you for reminding me. Love that. Pittick says, I'm going to get some food, Mason. I'll tune in tomorrow, but I like Grant's idea a lot. Think it integrates the 1v1s very smoothly. 100% agree with you, and I think Underdog probably doesn't need to build out too many like different things for that 1v1 just playoff setup. So, yeah, I really do like the idea. K-Smoke says, how many off-stream drafts do you do? Earlier in the offseason, I was not doing many. Now I am spamming them. Like over the past 2 weeks, I've really started drafting teams off the stream. I'm almost 100 underdog drafts deep now, which I'm sure a lot of y'all have significantly more than I do. But before like a week or 2 ago, I was only drafting like the 1 or 2 drafts that we do at night on the stream. I think when it's all said and done, I'm probably going to try to average 10 underdog drafts over the next... Actually, 10's a lot. I'll probably try to average like 7 or so underdog drafts for the next 2 months. Like 7 a day. So I'll probably end up with 400, 500 underdog teams drafted. Frank says, your odds of winning Best Ball Mania are significantly higher than winning the lottery. Just saying. Good point, my guy. I really like. I almost want to tweet that out. I'm gonna tweet that out. Am I allowed to take that from you, my friend? Am I allowed to say? Chat from my stream today. Your odds of winning BBM are significantly higher than. Thank you, my friend. Okay. That's too good, my friend. I got to tweet that out. Hardnell says 1 to 12, 2 to 4. I like the 1 to... I understand maybe 2 out of 4 rather than 1 out of 2 decreases the volatility of it. Not volatility, the variance. But I like the idea of just you versus one other person and just sweating that out. I think it maybe brings in something that you typically have like in regular fantasy football that you don't get in best ball. SJ says, who's your most drafted player this year, Mason? I think Jordan Addison, unless something changed over the past 2 days. I'll go ahead and double check. Jordan Addison is my most drafted guy currently. Both by percentage and entry fees, he's actually third. He's at $297 with Jordan Addison. Okay. Let's move this over. Blake Corum goes. We only have 4 receivers. We definitely need more. Brandon Cooks makes a lot of sense for us here where we have Dak. Am I a big Brandon Cooks guy? No. But we need a wide receiver. We have Dak Prescott. I will say, though, if you look at Brandon Cooks' yards per route run over this past season, he's at like 1.2. Brandon Cooks was like the least efficient receiver in the NFL for the volume he had. I think we may go ahead and take Jacoby Myers here. Not a big Mitchell guy. We already have a couple rookies here as well. I have noticed Mike Williams falling a considerable amount in drafts as of late. So I think we should be able to get Mike Williams a little bit cheaper later on. And we have a message. I have 20% Jacoby. Am I cooked? Hopefully not, my friend. We just took him. I'll let you know how much Jacoby I have. Guys, it's an awkward range here where like I don't necessarily think that it's like a no-brainer where you need to take running back here at the 10-11 turn. I think wide receiver could be fine. Jan says he's here for his lottery winnings. My guy, hope you're doing well, as I said. And like I said earlier too, if you want to go get dinner or something, just let me know. Be happy. Okay. Hardell says, either way could be a lot of fun. Yes, I'm going to definitely get it to be like a $5 buy-in. It'll be like a $5, $10 buy-in. Berger says, Mason, are you in any redraft leagues or just underdog tourneys? I'm going to be in a redraft league this year that I care about more than almost any redraft league that I've had in the past. All the creators on flockfantasy.com, plus the developers, plus my editor, plus we may have a special guest as well, hopping in the league. We are going to, I need to set up the YouTube channel for y'all. I'm going to set up a YouTube channel. We are going to make a league similar to the League TV show. We're going to do the draft in Austin, Texas, August 20th or 21st, sometime around then. And going to make a ton of content around it. Big prizes, a ton at stake. So I am super freaking pumped for that. And yeah, we're going to go ahead. I'm going to make a YouTube channel from it as well. And with that YouTube channel, it's going to be more, it's not going to be like fantasy football advice. Here are the 5 guys that you should draft this season. It's going to be more like pure entertainment, like raw entertainment. Like I'm going to get on there. I'm going to go, oh my gosh, Corey, that was the worst trade I've ever seen anybody make. You clearly know nothing about fantasy football. That is why I'm going to crush this season. It's going to be smack talk. It's going to be fun. And yeah, we'll do a punishment for the loser. Should be fun. And I got us a big Airbnb in Austin that we'll have in August. And there's like a basketball court, there's a pickleball court there, there's a pool, there's like bowling, there's like everything. So we're thinking of having some like big thing to figure out draft order. Should be a lot of fun. And I'll make sure y'all get the link to that YouTube channel whenever I remember to set it up. I'll probably not see any posts on there until late July, early August, but should be a ton of fun. It's just going to be called the Flock League. But also, let me remind you, as I'm on the topic, August 22nd, we are going to have a Flock Fantasy Meetup. I will be there. A bunch of other fantasy football creators will be there. I'm hoping you will be there. And I'm hoping a lot of people from the stream are there so we can hang out, talk fantasy football. It's going to be in Austin, Texas, August 22nd. I'll get some more official details. We'll get some tickets out there soon. I do want to reiterate, just in case you weren't there with the ticket discussion previously, I would love to do it just for free. I promise you, I'm not trying to make a penny off of it. Just the reason we have to do it with the ticket format is I need to know who's showing up. So I need to be able to communicate with venues. Because in the past, I've just said, meet up at the park. I'll bring everybody hats. I'll bring everybody shirts. Just show up. It's free. Hang out. Talk football. But we're doing it in August instead of January. So it's going to be very difficult for me to ask y'all to go to the park when it is 110 degrees outside in Austin, Texas. So we're going to do a real place like a sports bar or something. Okay. Joel asking how to get in the league. In terms of the league that we're going to be like, real quick, let me think. I think we take Chandler as RB3 here. In terms of the league that we're going to be making like videos and content and stuff around, I'm sorry, my friend, that's only going to be like fantasy football creators and the developers on the site, my editor, like we already discussed. I don't think I'm going to have any, like, it's not just going to be open invite to the public. It's going to be more of like an exclusive thing. For the Flock Underdog tournament that's going to happen, you'll just go to the lobby and you'll just see the Flock tournament that's there. Okay. Drew says, max capacity question mark. I'm thinking about flying out now. My guy, if anybody here is willing to fly out and you let me know, I will guarantee you get in. And if you are flying out to Austin, Texas for this, send me a screenshot of your flight. Send me a screenshot of your hotel. I will guarantee you a ticket. You don't need to pay for a ticket. Get you hooked up with a hat. Get you hooked up with a free shirt. Like I said, not trying to make any money off it. Just trying to hang out with as many of y'all as I possibly can. So let me know. Let me know. But yeah, if you're willing to, if you're flying out for it, shoot me. The easiest way to get a hold of me is through Discord. If you shoot me a message on Twitter or Instagram, I may or may not see it. Or you can email me at masondodd@flockfantasy.com. The Almighty Hat Center says, when is it again? It'll be August 22nd. That'll be a Thursday, August 22nd. Of course, you can bring the wife, my friend. Most people, I don't say most people, but a lot of people bring significant others. My girlfriend's been there. She wasn't there last year because last year was super cold. But my girlfriend's been there most years, I think. Jan will hopefully be there. I think it's either Jan's birthday on, okay, it's Jan's birthday on the 22nd, I'm assuming. And maybe we can do a meetup in another state at some point, but I like Austin. I live in Austin. It's very central. Texas is a big state. A lot of people in San Antonio, a lot of people in Houston, a lot of people in Dallas. Very easy for people to make it. Teresa, if you get that flight, if you get a hotel, I'll make sure we get you hooked up with stuff. So yeah, please. Keep me posted. Not a big rush. Whenever you know. Okay. Well, yeah, like I said, if anybody's willing to fly in, shoot me a DM on Discord. I can give you cheap hotel recommendations in the area. And I can reserve you a spot, free ticket, free entry, and everything, if you're willing to fly in for it. But I need airplane receipt and hotel confirmation. And the tickets will probably be $10. It'll be something like that, something where it's just cheap enough where I can tell the venue this is how many people are coming. And I'm assuming, well, here's what I'm assuming, and I could be wrong. If anybody is like a manager at a restaurant, has some insight, you can tell me if I'm crazy. I'm assuming I'm going to be able to go to restaurants. I should probably do it this week. And I'm going to say, hey, can we book this out for the night? And I'm not going to pay for it, but people order drinks and food. Would a restaurant be down for that? I'm assuming, hopefully. Okay, we went Chuba Hubbard at 167. We are definitely not going with another tight end. Can we just go with an unstacked Cousins 20 picks past ADP? We're just going to take the raw points of Cousins here. Unstacked. Do you want a stationary pocket passing quarterback unstacked? Hell no, you do not. Is this a good idea? Most likely it is not. But it is what it is. We'll take the raw points. We'll get another stacking option. Here's our quarterback 3 in a second. Getting Cousins at 170, I just think is probably a little bit too much of a value when we need a quarterback. And it's not like there's anybody else here that makes a ton of sense for our roster. Okay. Nick, I would love to see you here, my friend. Love to see it. Kadarius Tony says, I think I'm going to be in training camp or something, but I'd love to be there. Benny says, bet you have a lot of Cali fans in here. I think California is the most popular state of this channel, unless I'm mistaken. I haven't looked at the YouTube analytics in maybe 4 years. Dan says, can always grab Rondale Moore last pick if desperate. Great point. Great point. And yeah, we only need to draft we only need to draft 2 tight ends, so maybe that saves us an extra raw spot to go wide receiver later. But I mean, if we are looking at running back here, this is a running back room where we have Kyron, Kenneth Walker, Chandler, Chuba. So we're for sure going to go one more running back. We're for sure going to go one more quarterback. I think that last spot, we could potentially make an argument for receiver versus RB. Let me pull this up one more time. Wide receiver, we have Lamb, Evans, Pickens, Ladd, Cooks, Myers, Leggett. So I don't know. Okay. I'll tell you right now, a California meetup would, maybe we can do a California meetup in January. Right now I'm thinking about getting an Airbnb in San Diego for January and February to get some nice weather. And I've never been to California before, so to just see it. I thought Airbnbs would be cheaper. I'm going to let you know that right now. They're not, which is a little disappointing. But it is what it is. Jan says, I'm drafting Jordan Whittington in round 8. Do I have a problem? No, my guy, you're good. You're good. I distinctly remember Jan taking Devin Duvernay with like all of our teams and me going, my guy, what the hell is happening? And Jan had like Devin Duvernay round 18 as like his most drafted guy, just based off of pure bias. And then Devin Duvernay comes out and is one of the best round 18 picks that year. Jan says San Diego. Is just typing that. Jan says San Diego's Austin 2.0. My assumption, and I've never been, so I'm just stereotyping to the max here, is San Diego is a more expensive Austin, Texas with better weather. Which in the past, I was really cheap. In the past, I felt like I really needed to save money. But now that I'm going to win Best Ball Mania this year, F it. Who cares? So let me know if I'm wrong in that assumption. Is San Diego, Austin, Texas with much better weather? We're going to go ahead. We will take Roshan at RB5. And then Bryce Young makes a lot of sense for a stack here where we have Xavier Leggett. We also have Chuba Hubbard, as if that matters as well. But the reason we're going to go Roshan is the team here already has Lawrence, Stafford, Levis, so they can't go with another quarterback, right? So we're for sure going to get Young on the way back around. Okay, San Diego's dope. Zach says your favorite burger place, Whataburger. All my friends hate me for saying this. Whataburger, and I know all of the Texas people hate me for saying this, but I'm just going to be honest with you. I've grown up in Texas. I've lived in Texas every year my entire life, minus 1 year. I, too, went to Whataburger all the time in high school, like every other Texas boy watching this. But if we're going to be honest with each other here, Whataburger is grossly overrated, overpriced, mediocre fast food. In-N-Out is much better. P. Terry's, which is an Austin fast food place, is much better. Whataburger is grossly overrated. And I know, we're going to upset some people. Leddick says, I don't like Whataburger either, and I'm here in San Antonio. Well, my friend, you're going to be in Austin, Texas, Thursday night on August 21st or 22nd, whenever Thursday is. 22nd. You'll be in Austin, Texas, August 22nd. We'll be talking about how we hate Whataburger together. Okay. P. Terry's great. P. Terry's great. K-Smoke says, if you haven't heard Xavier Leggett talk, you're missing out. I have not heard Xavier Leggett talk. Let me pull this up. Honestly, I don't really want to do another draft, but I just kind of want to stay live and talk to y'all, if that is acceptable. Leggett interview.
Social media. I've been dragging it all over social media, man. I just tell folk, man, they really just ain't never heard nobody talk for money.
Do you have any nicknames? Do people from home call you a certain?
They call me Zay, bro.
Zay, bro.
Yeah.
Sounds like a grown-ass man. Dear God. Yes, I have been living under a rock. If you don't know this about me, I am kind of off the grid. Yeah. Leggett sounds like a grown-ass man. Okay. Tico says he and Keon Coleman need a podcast. I saw Keon Coleman, what was it? Him talking about like his fashion went viral.
Huh? Nah, man, you forgot I went to school in Michigan for 2 years? Guess why I got this wrong, though? I'm saying you got to guess. You gonna be wrong, though, but guess.
I had this, so I was working on the draft guide yesterday, and a lot of it looking at age, projecting out these running backs. And I had the really sad realization that whenever I first started making like fantasy football content in 2019, I was 20 years old. I was 20 years old. I was 20 years old at the very beginning of 2019. And I distinctly remember thinking like, oh my gosh, this guy's as young as I am coming into the NFL draft. That is nuts. And now I'm to the point looking at all these guys in fantasy football, not even just the rookies, all these veterans where I'm getting ready to say this running back's too old. He hasn't done it already. He's about to be 26. Guy's old as hell. I'm going, how am I saying that? That guy's younger than I am. So I don't know. I know it's just completely random. I don't know if it has anything to do with like us looking at accents, but just looking at Keon Coleman and thinking like, oh my gosh, this kid's 21 years old. It's not that I'm older than him. It's that I'm like significantly older than him now. Like it's almost as if he's a kid, which obviously he's not, but okay, we're looking at running back, wide receiver here. I think we go with the 6th running back, having Kyron, Walker, Chandler, Chuba, Roschon as our 5 guys. I think we could go with the 8th receiver, having Lamb, Evans, Pickens, Ladd, Cooks, Myers, Leggett. I don't know the correct thing to do. Let's see if there's anybody not getting drafted that could be exciting. Let's just take Tank. Looks to be the RB2 here pretty easily. But I will show y'all super quick. You can pause if you want to see this team. We are going to scroll down before that team at the very end makes their selection so you can see our squad. I'd like it. Maybe round 18. We should have gone wide receiver instead of running back. Don't exactly know, but I think that's it. I'm not going to end this live stream immediately. Still pretty early. Just kind of want to pick your brains on a couple things. One, I think the best idea that we have right now for the Flock tournament is a regular underdog tournament. 1 team advances out of 12. Then for weeks 15, 16, you're just 1v1. You versus your opponent. Winner advances. Then we go to week 17 and we have like 100, 150, 200 team pool. I think that's what it is. Paul says 30-year-olds hearing about Nick Chubb's injury have way less optimism than 20-year-olds. That's an interesting thing to point out, my friend. Now that you say that. Also, 1, Paul, thank you for being with us for so damn long. And 2, I haven't thought about it that way because I know some people that are, I know Corey from FSC is pretty big into Chubb. And obviously, I'm fine drafting Chubb in Best Ball Mania. I think he has the upside for the end of the season. But at the same time, we are pretty young. I mean, we're younger than Nick Chubb. So I don't know how my body's going to be by then. I mean, this is another side note. Yeah, I mean, I'll say this real quick. If you're here for fantasy football, you can leave. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. I'll be back drafting fantasy football drafts tomorrow, and the next day. We'll talk about fantasy. I'm going to complain to the other people who, for whatever reason, are going to care about this wrist injury that I have. And let me lay it on you, and let me see if I got a physical therapist in the chat for us. But really appreciate you all. So, y'all know training-wise, I did like the Ironman this past year. In college at UT, I was on the powerlifting team. I'll also let you in on a little bit of a secret. I was going to do UT cheer until COVID happened. And then I got big streaming. I was like, okay, I'm streaming instead. And yes, I know people want to make fun of me. Oh my gosh, Mason, you're going to be on UT cheer and the power. Very simple. Hang around the prettiest girls in school. Get treated like an athlete. it would have been the life. But then we got big on live streaming priorities. Had to ditch that. But then I went to Tampa for a year afterwards. Did CrossFit so I could meet some friends because I was live streaming constantly. Needed to find a way to meet people. And I swear to God, that was back in 2022 or 2021. Like 2021, 2022, something like that. My wrist still is permanently hurt. Anytime I rotate like this, like I rotate towards this way and then bend my wrist back, down here, down the side, hurts so bad. And it has hurt for a long time. So please, if anybody knows, let me know in the comment section. How do I fix that? Because it is a pain in the butt right now, and it's been for years. I thought in France, I didn't work out for 3 weeks. I'm like, okay, it's finally going to heal. I didn't lift weights for a long time doing the Ironman stuff. It's finally going to heal. And it didn't. The Almighty says, I messed up my wrist doing power cleans in high school football, still never. That's exactly what it was in CrossFit. It was the freaking cleans. Okay. Teresa says it's a ligament. Is there any way to fix a ligament? I'll look it up. I'll figure it out. I appreciate y'all. Thank you for everything. And yeah, I'll be live tomorrow night. We'll have some more drafts and hopefully some news on the Flock tournament.